Hello, I'm Rachel Carmen, and I blog at hissunflower.com. My husband and I have 7 children, and we have been homeschooling for the last 17 years. In fact, today was day 2 of our 18th year. This is what I normally wear: hair in a ponytail, t-shirt, and you can't see, but I've got sweatpants on. So I'm really casual on the days that I actually teach my kids at home. In fact, I've joked, if you've heard me speak, that my kids are always cracking up because when I get dressed up to come and share with you at a conference, my kids know that I am not homeschooling them because I don't get dressed up like that. Anyway, welcome to my sunshiny space here today. I want to share with you about something that I get asked about all the time. Having 7 children, there was a time when I was homeschooling all of them. They now range in age from 9 to 22, so I have 2 graduates and I have 2 girls in high school. So I'm really only homeschooling 2 to 3. My junior high student is a daughter, and she's very diligent, so she generally does all of her homeschooling. She's a very independent learner. But my 2 little guys, I'm still homeschooling. But there was a time when I was homeschooling 7 at one time, and it was difficult to juggle all 7 and have the time I needed with the older ones to go over math facts and to go over grammar and spelling and reading skills and still keep the little guys engaged. So over the time that we were in the trenches, during that time when I had all 7, I developed something based off an article I read in a parenting magazine while I was waiting at the pediatrician. There was a working mother who had developed something she called her phone box. And she developed it because she found out that when she got on the phone, her kids always went crazy. And she was trying to conduct business at home, and she had to find a way to be able to make business calls without the kids going crazy. So I took her idea and expanded it to apply to our homeschool. So what I did is, based on the number of days that we homeschooled, and we homeschool 4 days a week with one out day. And the out day I've used is running errands. And now predominantly our out day is co-op. We have a co-op on our out day, and we do art lessons and we do music. I mean, on our out day, we are out and we get it all done in one day, and I love it that way. So the other 4 days of the week when I had the little guys, I had a different box for each one of those days. Now I want to digress for a moment and talk to you a little bit about my philosophy during the preschool years. I am not a huge advocate of investing heavily in curriculum during the preschool years. I'm talking about 3, 4, 5. In fact, I think it's more important just to live life with those little guys. Cook with them, measure with them, count the apples that you buy, measure, estimate which is going to weigh more, 3 apples or a cantaloupe. Count by 2s, 5s, 10s. Talk about the days of the week. Talk about the weather. Talk about the months of the year. Practice writing if they want to. Let them lead. Talk about the colors, talk about the letters, but curriculum and sitting down and doing workbooks, I really just think that that is a really fast track to burnout, both for you and for your child. So just enjoy during that time. We also love nature journals during that time, and just looking at the glory of nature and what God had done and talking about that. Having said that, one of my favorite things that we did during that time was the 5 in a row curriculum. It's not a huge investment. It's a curriculum based on just great classic children's books like Caps for Sale and Blueberries for Sal and Goodnight Moon. It's our favorite thing that became those books. And I think I finally have all of them now. So we have enjoyed that. But other than that, I didn't invest in math curriculum or anything like that. I just lived life with my little guys. Now, back to the preschool boxes. The preschool boxes were designed specifically to give to my younger students when I needed that concentrated time with my older students. Now, one of the secrets of homeschooling many is always start your homeschool day, obviously in prayer and in Bible study as a family. But after that, when it's time to get into the academia of your homeschool day, always homeschool from youngest to oldest. Always start with your little guys. Snuggle up with your little guys and read them a book. And spend that time with them first while your older students are getting settled in and doing a math lesson or some copy work or some practicing of their spelling words that they can do without you. So start with your younger ones and move up. So that's what I would do. I would start my day with my younger ones, and as I started to move up and I needed to have time to do math facts or a math lesson with my older kids, I would pull out a preschool box. So I did 4 different boxes. 4 different themes in these boxes. I had a smiley face box, which was colors and shapes. I had an alphabet box. It was covered in paper, and inside was all alphabet things. I had a balloon box that was all about numbers. And then my last box, I forgot, oh, it had bugs on it, bugs, different kind of bugs on it. And it was sort of my catch-all box. I took old paper boxes that you can pick up at Staples or Office Depot. If you'll call them, usually they'll save them for you. Say, I need 4 boxes, and they'll save them for you. And then I covered them in wrapping paper, and then covered them a second time in clear contact paper, and just filled those boxes with the themes that I've just gone over with you. And so inside they have books, they have puzzles, they have like little flashcard games. Not that they would actually play that game at that age, but just the pictures were amusing. And since they would see their older siblings play with cards, they thought that was fun to play with the cards. They would have matching games. They would have beads to thread, or the old sewing cards. Very important thing to do for those fine motor skills. All kinds of books to look at. And it would occupy them. Usually what I would do, I'd make a really big deal out of the fact that we were going to get a preschool box down, but I wouldn't give them the whole box. I would give them like 3 or 4 items out of the box, and then set the box up high where they could not reach it. And I could literally buy myself 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes as much as 30 minutes, to give that one-on-one time with my older students. And then when the little ones started to get a little restless, I could always take those 3 or 4 items, put them back into the box, and rotate some fresh items out for them to play with brand new things while I'm moving maybe on to the next student or another student. Another thing that I would do with the preschool boxes is I would give the little guys all the hands-on activities they could do. So they could do the beads by themselves. They could do the sewing cards by themselves. They could do the puzzles maybe by themselves, depending on what age I gave them. And then, as I would rotate through, the kids that would read, I would give that job or that opportunity for that older sibling to go, well, would you go and read some alphabet books with your younger siblings so that I can have a math lesson with your brother? And so we would rotate. We would really work through these preschool boxes every week. I had 4 boxes, and they were not available to the kids to get into. And I was the only one that could give them the preschool box. So they could only have that box once a week. And then I got that time that I needed one-on-one. Now, at Christmas time, I would usually go in and pull some old things out, some things that maybe they really weren't interested in, or maybe they couldn't do. If there was something that was continually frustrating one of my students, I would pull it out. You don't want to frustrate them. If they can't quite lace those cards, let's pull them, because there'll be a time that they can. If they can't quite do that puzzle, just pull it, because there will be a time that they can do it, but we don't want to set them up for frustration. And so these preschool boxes became quite beloved in our family. And here's the lid of one of the smiley face box that we did. And you can see here that even though there's contact paper, it wore through over time. Now, at my blog, I'm going to post pictures of the contents of each one of these preschool boxes, along with a list of the contents. Please, I'm looking forward to your questions, or if there's anything else you'd like me to vlog about, any questions that you have. I just want to be here to encourage you to finish strong and finish well. Have a great homeschool day. Bye.